Well, hey family, this is Darlene. Stopping in for a couple of seconds. I was sitting here making jewelry to go on the fair.com wholesale platform, and I thought to myself, let me check in to make sure everybody is doing okay and all is well with you. And plus, I had a thought. I was like sitting here thinking because I'm having to duplicate uh, pairs of earrings or bracelets or items that I make. Like with these earrings, out of all the time that I've been making jewelry, I've never duplicated. I'm sure duplicated in the sense like identical. So when you look at these are basically identical. Well, to the best of my ability, right? And this is what I mean. I will make a design, and it'll look kind of similar, but it's never identical like these. And that's like with these. I think I made four pair of these. And because I don't like identical so much, the charms on the ends, a couple of them I changed up just to make them a little different than the other pair. But everything else is pretty much the same. With the beads, with the glass bead, with the Buddha head bead, like that. So what I'm doing is I'm putting these on the fair.com platform as cases. So in this case, you might get two to a case. And then even like with this one would be three to a case. And then it would be whatever the price is per unit. And then I put these on there. So I'm pretty much not already stocked up. I think I have about 78 items on my platform so far, and then I'm sitting here making more pieces. I'm gonna start working on bracelets and then a couple of necklaces in probably about an hour. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Wanted to touch bases, let you know that I'm still around. I'm still busy, doing what I'm doing. And then I had a thought too about my Etsy shop. Oops, sorry about that. About the Etsy shop. I think I'm gonna close the shop. Only because even if you're not making money on Etsy, you still have to pay out money. So, because the items have to be renewed after a certain time and it's 20 cents. So if you got 20 cent being renewed at the same time on like 50 items, kind of add that up. And for me, if it's not, and something about Etsy is just like dead, dead. I don't care what I do, how many emails I send out, how I promote it, whatever. It's like dead. Like it doesn't do anything. You might get a sale kind of like here and there, but that still doesn't cover the costs. When you have to pay for renewals, and if you have more than 100 items on there, and stuff is being renewed, it's like, I don't think so. So I'm thinking because of the new platform with the fair.com, which has more emphasis on sellers more so than the buyers, that makes more sense to me with the sense of Etsy is more about the buyer and not the seller, right? So people that are on fair.com, they're looking for wholesale items, to purchase. They're retailers who have like boutiques or online stores or, that type of thing. So I would rather, take my chances going that way as opposed to sticking it out with Etsy. And that's what it's all about, making decisions, seeing what works for you. And if it at some point doesn't work for you, when you get to your bottom line and it don't make sense anymore, then you just have to make some changes. And I'm cool with that. So I'm leaving one platform to go to another platform, with a lot more potential. So, that's a good thing. And like with anything, you got to put in the effort, you got to put in the work. So, I'm up for the game. No worries on my part. I was able to get more of the little token charms right here. I went in to get some and they had like 2 packs left. And I'm like, people is just buying up stuff. It's like all of a sudden everything is missing. I'm like, wow. So when I go in, I grab everything they got, and because people is just, being creative, and that's good stuff. So that's what I was doing. And then I need to order more Buddha heads because I was like, I'm gonna do a Buddha head theme and have like a lot of Buddha head products on my wholesale platform. I don't know if I shared this with you guys or not, but every 30 days I do a new scripture. So it's 30 days, and I just finished the one First Chronicles 4:10, the one about Jabez was more honorable than his brothers. And we know that Jabez called on the God of Israel, saying, "O Lord, bless me indeed and expand my territory. Keep your hand on me and keep evil from me, that I may not cause pain." And God granted him what he requested. And if I can tell you the blessings, that God unfold in that 30-day period, be it spiritual or otherwise, it is absolutely, absolutely amazing. And it's almost like how the word just uncovers blessings throughout your day. And my thought is like every, morning that I get up, on my wall, my closet doors, which is like a really huge closet, and it's 3 doors, right? So on those doors, I write out different color cards, different scriptures, different affirmations, different quotes or words to myself. So every morning when I wake up, I get out of the bed on that side of the room because I have to, because that's the side of the bed I sleep on. So no sooner than I open my eyes, I'm literally looking at my closet door where I have all these affirmations and quotes and positive words and all these things. So those are the first things that I consume in the morning, spiritually, mentally, and otherwise. So no sooner than I open up my eyes, I'm looking at my closet doors with all these different color cards and stickies and all kind of stuff that have, like words and Bible verses and all this kind of stuff. And then I have paper calendar that I printed out, and every day that's to keep count of the 30 days. So I mark out a day as the days go by, right? And then that way I'm able to keep count. And I thought with myself, I said, well, just kind of think about it. There's life and death in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. So then for my thought is like, okay, well, what are you eating every morning? We have a routine of where we eat maybe oatmeal and drink a cup of coffee with some toast. And, that's a ritual. We do that every single morning, be it bacon and eggs or whatever, a person's routine is. I mean, that is just basically what they do. So for me, if you think about it, if we had a string at the top of our head and we were able to pull the soul out of us and check on him as often as we breathe, what would he look like? What would our souls look like, right? Would he look malnourished? Would he look uncared for? Would he look nice and plump? And then another thing would be, would he enjoy our company? Would he respect us? What would our soul look like? What would it say to us? Will it say, "Depart from me, I never knew you"? Will it say, "You are unstable in all your ways"? Would it say, you know, I depart from me, right? So this be my thought. Like I'm like, okay, well, you have to consider the soul, the man that lives inside of you. So my thought was every day, all the time, when I start my morning, my thought is for me, I would hope that the soul that lives in me will say, "Well done, thy good and faithful servant." Every single day, that's like my thought, right? And I don't know how I got off to that. Somebody must have needed to hear it, and God knows where we are at every point in our lives. And maybe somebody really just needed to hear that, but that's the reality, and that's how I start my mornings. Um, Eating, like God's word. And I think I said that because I got off track, but I think I said that to say, join me. What I am reading now is Proverbs 31. And I'm reading Proverbs 31, and I'm starting at number 10. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night. Don't we do that often? And giveth meat to her household. Don't we take care of our households? And a portion to her maidens, right? She considereth a field, and she buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. So when I think about Proverbs 31:16, she considereth a field, and she buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. That does not necessarily have to be a piece of land that she buys and plants to create a vineyard. It could be any platform that you place your product or service on, right? But even once you plant it and put it there, you have to till it. You have to put in the work. So when I read that, I said, oh, okay, I could apply that not just as necessarily a physical field of, land, like a plot of land. That could be applied in so many different ways, right? So for me, that's what I'm reading now for the next 30 days. Proverbs 31, and I start at 10 and then I end at 14. But you can do whatever you want to do. And I just said, join me. Watch how God unfolds his blessings throughout our day, blessings and things that are hidden. I guarantee you he will uncover, and you will be able to see those things with your spiritual and your physical eyes, and how great God is. He is the Alpha, he is the Omega, he is the beginning, he is the end, he is a God of promises. And what if he promised us so many different things? Right? And just think about the promises in which he promised. He promised that he hears our cries in Psalms 10:17. He promised compassion, upon us. He promised us comfort. He promised us that he would be faithful. He promised that good would come out of our suffering. He promised us that he would do good by us. He promised that he would guide us. He promised us hope. He promised that he would always love us. He promised that he would give us peace. God is a God of promises. And for that, I would suggest, to any person that is a Christian, be it a baby Christian or a mature Christian, just stay faithful. Stay faithful and know that God is God, and he is a God of promises, and whatever he says, will happen, will absolutely happen. And I do know that when we begin our day with God and we end our day with God, there are blessings beyond blessings beyond blessings. There are things happen that you would be totally amazed by, and you would say to yourself, this could only be God. This could only be granted by God, right? But y'all didn't come here for a sermon this morning, and I didn't come here to preach. But what I did do was come to show y'all the pieces that I'm working on. And I kind of went off on a little tangent, and I apologize for that. I don't apologize for loving and being in love with the Lord and sharing his word, but I do kind of apologize for going off on a tangent, in which I did. So you guys be sure to enjoy your day. Be sure to stay productive. Be sure to do whatever it is that God has allowed you to do, and whatever purpose he has placed in your life, right? So we'll talk soon.